If you've ever watched the original Ducktales cartoon, you know there's not a lot that sets Huey, Dewey, and Louie apart. With the exception of their disparate red, green, and blue clothes, the three kids are pretty much the same character. The new Disney XD Ducktales reboot, on the other hand, is trying to give each of the nephews their own unique personality. We know that Huey is responsible, and Dewey is adventurous. So what does that make Louie Duck, the boy in green? Evil, apparently. Louie's role as the evil triplet was practically the first thing we learned about the character. A quick dialogue joke that looks to be part of the kids' first introduction to Webby.
Who's the evil triplet?
Louie.
The setup, delivery, and payoff for this gag are perfect, with Louie himself shrugging off his brother's immediate and simultaneous demonization of his name. It's a good joke, but calling him evil, of course, is just far too simple. A more measured look at the youngest Duck triplet shows us a boy who's mischievous, confident, and ambitious. He's also obsessed with treasure. We see this most clearly in the DuckTales No. 0 prequel comic. In the comic book's second story, the boys run across an old movie director, and Louie immediately seizes the opportunity to sell out Dewey as an actor for the filmmaker's next picture. For a 20% cut, of course. Earlier in the issue, we can see him seeking out treasure on an abandoned island, and taking on the role of a shrewd businessman when he tries to sell space on a raft off of that island. Moreover, he does all of this with bold confidence. He's not dishonest, but he's not below cutting a harsh deal to make a buck. Not unlike a certain rich uncle of his. And the more I study the boys, the more I think that that's an important part of their character design. It's true, they take on the traditional role of the oldest, middle, and youngest siblings, but each of them also embodies a particular trait found in Uncle Scrooge. Huey is clever, responsible, and well-read. Dewey has a thirst for exploration and adventure, and Louie is obsessed with treasure and making money. All traits found in their legendary uncle. The three of them all have a reason to look up and idolize Scrooge McDuck, but each of them have their own specific reasons that are unique to their personality. These traits are also opportunities for each of them to experience character growth, because while they all have these traits in common with Scrooge, they're not perfect. Huey is smart, but too strict. Dewey is adventurous, but foolhardy. And Louie? Well, Louie's just a little bit too lazy. We can see in preview clips that Louie's laid-back attitude kind of offsets his ambition. Sure, he's still a kid that likes to run around and play, but he also doesn't particularly like to work hard. Well, at least that's how Ben Schwartz, the voice actor for Dewey, described his animated brother. At D23 Expo, Schwartz said that Huey and Dewey would love to make their fortune by working hard and going on adventures. But if Louie could just sit back and make $1 million by doing nothing, he'd see that as having lived the perfect life. And that kind of conflicts with Scrooge's lifelong motto. Make your fortune by being tougher than the toughies, smarter than the smarties, and make it square. That directly conflicts with Louie's lazy attitude, which is probably why the D23 crew mentioned there's an episode coming up where Scrooge tries to teach Louie about the value of doing honest work and being motivated.
Any big plans for today? Thought I'd move to the big TV in a few hours, you know.
And that's kind of cool. There's a lot of growth potential there. We've also seen a ton of clips of Dewey admiring treasure. Holding on to it in the intro sequence, for instance, or making jokes about taking Scrooge's gold in the 360-degree adventure on YouTube.
Woo! Gold for everybody! Yeah! Gold for Scrooge! I meant just gold for Scrooge, not everybody!
Even so, does Louie's ambition and love of money make him, as Webby asked, the evil triplet? Outside of the context of that specific gag, I don't think so. Louie is driven, clever, determined, and probably has a certain disregard for the rules. But that doesn't make him evil. It makes him a Slytherin. I mean, I'm not into Harry Potter that much or anything, but it fits the bill, right? He's shrewd, cunning, and he wears green. I think Disney XD's DuckTales is doing something really special here. Not just with Louie, but with the way it's updating the personalities of all the kids. It's true that Quack Pack once gave Huey, Dewey, and Louie their own unique personalities, but what we're seeing with DuckTales lends itself to better storytelling. Matt Youngberg and Frank Angones have said time and time again that the new DuckTales is a show about family, and Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Webby are written as characters that have ties to that family. They all share familial personality traits with each other and Uncle Scrooge, giving each of them a unique reason to learn from him and relate to him. And by dividing these traits up among all the kids, it also enables them to work better together, with each of the kids complementing the other in a way that makes them unique. In other words, in this version of DuckTales, the characters are all written in a specific, intentional way that allows them to be used together to tell better stories. They all play off of each other. Each character fulfills a role that the other lacks. It's clever, smart writing. and I think it's going to lead to more nuanced storytelling than I originally expected from this series. So yeah, it's not the first attempt to revise the kids, but previous attempts to give these kids unique personalities have been little more than teenage stereotypes. But these versions of Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Webby are well written, carefully considered, and designed for telling better stories. That's incredibly exciting, and I can't wait to see what these characters do after the show premieres. It's a little weird for me though. When I was a kid, Louie was always my favorite, because he wore green and I assumed he was the youngest like me. Now I think I might identify more with Dewey? I'm gonna have to think about this. Who's your favorite of the 4 kids? Has it changed since the original series? Let me know in the comments or hit me up on Twitter. Also, if you've been liking these videos about DuckTales, don't forget to like and subscribe for more overthought duck videos in the future. Either way, thanks for watching everybody, and take it easy.